This is like the most famous I will ever be.
No, that's no.
That's sad.
It's a lot of pressure.
No, there's always, you could always get caught in a theater.
Hello.
There's still hope.
Move it, man! We're in for one wild night.
Holy crap! It's time for the 300th episode of Irritable Dad Syndrome. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hi, I'm Darin.
I am Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast. Hold on, this is episode 300.
Hey, Darren, I heard episode 300 was going to be a good one.
It's going to be a great one because we have two special guests in the studio. We have our bosses. We have Jason Durbin. He was here for our 250th episode. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you, thank you.
And for the first time ever, Chris Michael has joined us. Chris is my neighbor who Mike loves to punch in the face.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that he's here, but he is here. Chris, welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Well, thanks. It's great to be here. Mike has already punched me in the face before the show, so we're getting off to a good start.
Why did we put him on the same side?
Well, the judge, he eased the restraining order.
Yes.
So I am allowed to be within
That's-
6 inches of Chris Michael.
Yeah.
Which,
But
unless I get excited, I'm okay.
In all seriousness, Chris and Jason, they have contributed financially to the podcast.
Bought so many peeps.
For years.
Yeah.
For years.
Yes.
And in all seriousness, I cannot thank you enough for your support and for your support, for believing in this podcast and helping us keep the lights on. And it really means the world to me. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I hold no responsibility for what Mike says to you on this episode. I'm going to apologize in advance.
So Darren and I, in order to save our sanity and keep this thing going for so long, we've split up duties, and we've talked about it. You guys get bored with that, but I'll just say, Darren does the audio portion, I do the video, and then handle the business side of it.
You handle all the social media.
I see how much money's coming in and going out, and yes, technically you can just push record on your phone and make a podcast for whatever your phone bill is, but you're going to get about as many listeners as we have right now doing that. But we put some effort into this thing. We do some stuff. We have a lot of services that we pay for. This podcast is not cheap to produce and run, and we could not do that without you guys.
We couldn't.
Both of you and the rest of our patrons help. We would not be able to do this.
Can I have a special request? This shirt's getting kind of old and ragged, and I need a...
Chris is wearing a...
If one showed up at the house...
You know what, Chris, there's a limit. You know, there's a
it'd be
limit.
okay. I wouldn't complain. I'm just saying.
Didn't you get the coffee mug?
I don't think I got... Where's my coffee mug?
You've got a beer mug.
Oh.
I've gotten 2 coffee mugs.
What?
Yes.
You got a mug? You showed me your mug one time.
Because I think Mr. Michael and Mr. Huggies came in after the merch thing was set.
Oh, okay.
So I think they got gypped.
Yeah.
Oh, can I say that? They got
Screwed?
Yeah, you can say
that.
that. You can say that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want to get canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of cancel, where's my
Egyptians
Patreon?
aren't listening to this. Trust me. As most Americans are not either.
But hey, since it's your 300th episode, I did bring a gift for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Wow.
If you would like it now, or
Give it to me now.
This one's for you, Darin.
Oh, look at that gonorrhea.
He gave that to me last
Don't
year.
worry, he's already got those.
My uncle.
I didn't know if you were
uncle gave you
running
that?
low, or Darin or Jason. You doing all right on foil? You need some.
Aluminum.
You need some foil for.
There's nothing in it. It's just aluminum foil.
With aluminum foil.
I think
You know, after all-
I think that's awesome.
You got to put it on your head.
Yeah.
Keep the aliens and all that from listening.
After all the from the other episode about the foil.
He brought this in a gift bag and put a bow on it.
I brought
I was getting
tea.
ready to come out, and I'm asking Mary, I'm like, "Do we have any gift bags?" And she's like, "Yeah, they're in the guest room." I'm like, and I come back down, I'm like, "Where are like the bows you put on Christmas gifts?" And she's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, you'll find out later. Don't worry about it.
You know, it's the gift that just keeps on
Just
giving.
keeps on giving.
I was going to bring some iced tea, but I didn't want to have anything come to blows.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about iced tea.
We've got to talk about the iced tea.
Yeah.
Because the votes
All
are
right.
in. Yeah, Mike and I, 2 episodes ago, had the debate of all debates about his wife Bess ordering an iced tea and how the person should have said it, what Bess should have said. It turned into something that it shouldn't have turned into. But the votes have come in the last time I looked.
Okay, so Clearly, what the data shows is that the IQ level of our patrons is lower than that of the general populace.
A majority of people believe that Bess was correct when she answered the question about the iced tea.
Yeah.
What was
In my defense,
option A,
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
To vote the
Option
other way.
A, the team Mike, Charlie, you guys voted against a little boy. And Bess's friend,
Right.
her confidant,
Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Who is, if that's her real name.
they said, quote, yes, money changed hands. That iced tea is spiritually mine. That's where spirits came from.
Yep.
Option B, Bess and
The answer is no.
no, if it's not in my hand, I did not,
Did
quote,
not
get it.
But listen,
I don't see how you travel through life
every
communicating
person
like
I've talked to about this
Yeah.
story, the consensus is it's not whether the person asked, "Did you get an iced tea?" or "Did you get your iced tea?" Is the person should have said, "Did you order an iced tea?"
Okay.
And then that would have given you your answer that you feel America should.
Okay, so which one of you jackasses voted for option B?
I don't really remember, honestly. It's been so long ago.
It was you, wasn't it? Okay.
It was him too.
Sometimes
And I
I
know
just,
you voted for yourself.
And it was Chris Hughes.
and Chris Hughes.
I just tried to do whatever you were going to do, but the opposite.
Okay.
I just wanted to sway the poll.
Something that we do on this podcast periodically, and I had given Mike crap about this because I said, you know what, when your wife does something, I don't ridicule my wife and throw her under the bus. I'm about to do that.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you guys, how do you make a grilled cheese sandwich?
Oh,
How do you make a grilled cheese?
I asked my wife to do it.
Oh, you have? Okay. Do you make a grilled cheese there, Christopher?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you do it?
You get bread and you toast it and you put it in
Oh
between
my God, you're the worst guest ever.
I'm not. Is this about the butter? Where you put the butter at?
So,
hold on.
how do you make a grilled cheese?
I switched over to Bess's way of doing it, but the original way, and it pissed her off. She was so mad at me for years. The kids preferred the daddy grilled cheese. And daddy grilled cheese is you toast 2 pieces of bread, you put 2 pieces of American cheese, you take the plastic off.
Right.
And then you microwave it for like 30 seconds.
Okay,
yeah.
And when you see it bubbling out the side, you stop and you give it to your kid.
Okay.
And then Bess would always say, that's not a real grilled cheese. You can't do it like that.
Right.
And then she got really mad when they started preferring that to her gourmet, put butter on it and all that stuff.
Okay, so this is how I've always made a grilled cheese sandwich.
Okay.
You butter 1 piece of bread, and
Right.
you put it on the griddle. You put the cheese, sometimes 2 pieces of cheese.
Yeah.
Then you put the other piece of bread on top.
Yeah.
Okay, and then while it's on the griddle or your skillet, the heat goes through, it starts to melt the cheese.
Yeah.
And then you flip the whole entire sandwich. And then you grill the other side of it. Okay? That's how I've always made a grilled cheese. That's how my father, that's how my brother, my mom.
That's how America
That's
does.
how Americans
So
make
they've
a
been
grilled
doing
cheese
it wrong for how long?
well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I came home the other night and Libby was making grilled cheese sandwich. And she has 1 piece of bread on the griddle and the other piece of bread also on the griddle
What?
with a piece of cheese on each side.
What the hell is that?
And I said, "What are you doing?" She says, "I'm making a grilled cheese."
no, you're making
And I
a
said-
mistake.
I said,
My question is, what the hell?
"Why are you doing it like
Yeah.
that?" And she said, and I quote, "I've always done it like that." To which I said, quote, "No, you haven't."
Oh.
Because I've known her for 27 years.
Yeah.
I have never seen her make a grilled cheese like that. Now, inherently, is it wrong? It's still grilled. She grilled the one side and the other side at the same time and then put them together.
Have you just assumed she's been doing it all this way? Like, how many times do you actually watch somebody make a grilled cheese?
Well,
you
I've-
know it's happening. Are you just assuming? And then this time you happen to be
I've watched
watching
her
it?
make hundreds of grilled cheeses.
Okay.
I know that that's not how she's always done it. What is going on?
So you're
We
saying
have-
what's the right way to do it?
the right
Well,
way?
no.
Not
what-
that.
No, it's not. It's not a situation where this is the right way to make a grilled cheese sandwich, and
Yeah.
that's a wrong way to make a grilled cheese sandwich. She says that she's always done that, and that's a lie.
Okay.
And so now I'm like, what do I do in this situation? Do I
Yeah.
call the authorities?
She's gaslighting you, is what she's saying. I've always done.
Libby,
do I call protective
Yeah.
services and have her children removed from the house?
Okay, Libby, I want you to know that I am against this entire conversation.
I'd like to bring
First
something
off.
up I figured out about you
What's that?
about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You are using the wrong sauce for whatever it is you made upstairs.
Why?
None of your family loves it.
That's
It's
Oh,
horrible.
that
Yeah.
spaghetti? Did you have
Yeah.
some?
No. It was what was
I like it.
ravioli
It's
or
Yo Mama's spicy.
Yeah,
Your Mama's
spicy.
Yo Mama's spicy.
Yeah, they ate about half of it. I've watched them throw it away.
Yeah, they don't like it.
No,
I love
but
it.
you still make it.
I'm an only child.
Yes,
I make
You
what
have
tastes good to
kids.
me.
I'm just saying.
But you have kids and a wife.
I also have a
get it.
stomach and desires.
Well, it's 3 versus 1. That's all I want to say.
So Andrew loves that stuff with the Yo Mama spicy marinara. He loves it. He does at times throw away the food. Yeah, he digs it. He's
Okay.
happy with it. Charlie does not like it at all. He refuses to eat it.
Yeah.
Bess says, when I make it, I'm going to make something else.
And yet
Yeah.
Mike continues to make an
Continue to
entire
make it,
trough of
'cause I
it.
just-
Yeah. It was
Okay.
a trough. Yeah.
Let's get into this. All right,
Okay,
here we
okay.
go.
All right.
I have an 18-year-old in the house that eats all the things.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I do during the weekend on Sundays, I make my lunches for the week. I make a big ass wok full of chicken stir fry stuff, and then I put it in these little meal prep things. It's a new thing I started this year. I need to get rid of this that's going on. And then I noticed that Andrew would just like want to eat those all the time. So I started making massive amounts. I have my 5, and then there's usually another 5 left over. I call those the extra. They're decoys. And I said to him, you can have anything that says extra, anything that says Mike, you can't have. Before that happened, this pasta dish occurred, right? And I could put that whole thing in the fridge. He loved it. That would distract him from Dad's other food, and I could eat the food that I like with wild abandon. I also found a cottage cheese peanut butter cup recipe
my God.
that everyone in this family hates. They actually you can see them getting sick when I mention it. I think it tastes amazing. So I have a big old dessert.
That's all for you.
It's cottage cheese, peanut butter, and chocolate. And
I
it's
could probably
amazing.
explain what happened down there in your.
In my Jimmer Jammer?
Yeah, I mean, given all the stuff you've told us about your recipes, I think I know where the weight's coming from.
My kids are just at an age where they hate anything that you buy in large quantities. So
Yeah.
they like went on a bender a month ago about blueberries. Like, blueberries are great. Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
Next time you're at Costco, pick up a case of blueberries. I'm good for the year, right?
Yeah.
Hate blueberries.
Yes.
Spoiled.
They'll eat them
Yeah.
until you buy them
I'm like,
a
why
second
do I even
time,
bother? Yeah.
And then they don't eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you run out, then that's all they want.
Right.
In fact, you need to get in your car right now, go up to Kroger and get more. Literally have my 5-year-old tell me that.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome, a refreshing blend of form and function.
I was going through the Facebook memories, and I found this old video of me juggling. And so I made a comment on it, and if you comment on a video from one of your memories, it pops back into your thing, and then the video comes back up in your feed. And so I said, I don't juggle as much as I used to, or I don't juggle as much as I should.
Yeah.
Right? And then my friend Steve said, yeah, and we're all glad for that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what,
Yeah.
what does that mean? And then somebody laughed at his comment.
Yeah.
And then
It's probably me.
a second person laughed at his comment. And then a third person laughed at his comment. And I'm thinking, his comment wasn't that funny. I went back and looked and realized 3 days later that I had written, I don't jiggle as much as I should.
Okay.
That was a typo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my apologies to everybody imagining me jiggle.
Just begs the question, how much should one jiggle?
How
What
much
is-
should
you
you
know,
jiggle?
What is the proper amount of jiggle?
Exactly, as
Yeah.
much as you want. Let it all hang out. What?
Yeah.
Lord. But how did I not catch that? It was I don't jiggle as much as I should. 3 days took for me to notice that.
Yeah.
Well, if you jiggle it more than twice, you know what? You're playing
playing
with
with
it.
it.
That's right. That's right. I want to say a nice thing. Can I say a nice thing that Darin did
Please,
for
for
me?
God's sakes,
I'm
would
gonna-
you?
So, we talked about this before the podcast.
Yeah, I walked through war-torn Chicago
Yeah.
to get you a magazine.
My favorite band Here's the thing. We don't get political, but my favorite band is a pretty political band. And unless you've been living under a rock, things are pretty political right now.
What is New Kids on the Block doing nowadays?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they've changed. Yeah. So they reinvigorated their fan club magazine that they had in the 80s and 90s called Propaganda, and they put out a single issue. It's free. I didn't know this at the time. It's free, but you're only allowed one. They're numbered. It's a 40th anniversary. If you're a U2 fan, 40 is a big number for them.
Yeah.
So I saw that they only put them in 150 record stores in the country, in the world. 150 in the world.
Yeah.
And, of course, none are around us except, like, Columbus, but I'm not going to drive to Columbus.
Right.
And Darin was on a Chicago business trip,
Yeah,
a business trip to
I was
Chicago.
in Chicago on business.
And two of these stores were in Chicago. And I thought, no, I'm not going to. Darin is working. He's on business. I'm not going to bug him. Hey, go get this U2 funny book.
But you did it
for me."
anyways.
Well, hold on. And I'm not going to do it. And I resigned myself to that. I went to bed that night, conscience clear. I felt like a good person. I didn't bug my friend when he was trying to do business. The next day,
You wake up. You
I
know
opened
what?
up the Facebooks. Hey, I wonder if anybody commented on anything today. And Darin's in there, whatever. You were counting your toes and you took a picture of something. And something about you still being in Chicago.
It was, the weather was so
The
foggy
weather
you
was-
couldn't see across
Yeah.
the street. Yeah.
And I thought, well, he's still there. And clearly he's not doing anything.
you
so
texted
then
me
I
at
just
7 a.m, by the way. So yeah,
I'd been up for hours at that point. I just said, by the way, I think I said Brett. Did I say Brett?
Brett.
And you know it's
Bruh.
trouble at that point. It's Brett. We're on the Brett.
Brett.
We're at that level.
Moved on?
Yeah. And I said, if you're not doing anything,
No,
which
are you still in Chicago?
are you still in Chicago?
Yep.
Yeah. Which, you know what? If you'd said no, you wouldn't have heard from me again for like a week. We had crickets.
Because Mike doesn't text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you made the mistake of saying yeah, and then you agreed, like a long story short, you agreed to go try to find this artifact for your friend. And
Yes.
so you found it. He with me a little bit. He said I can't find it. And then
I told you
a few hours later,
you wanted an album, and I said, "Oh, so you want me to go walk through war-torn Chicago and buy you an album that you're not going to let me borrow?"
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
And he's like, he says, "It's not an album; it's a magazine." Like, okay.
Yeah.
So I looked up this place, Reckless Records, and it doesn't open until 10 a.m. And I've got to be in the office at 9.
Yeah.
And the strict deadline on the stuff that I was producing, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it, but I was able to do it.
You did it.
Yeah,
And now I have
I found
a
out
thing.
because I don't know if you guys have ever been to Chicago. Chicago's a big place.
It's pretty large. It's one of the larger towns in
Turns
America.
out this record store is
village of
about a
Chicago.
15-minute walk from the office.
I think 15 minutes is about the walk for everything in Chicago. You're always about 15 minutes away from something there. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, and I went down there, and Mike was pretty cool. He said, buy it, I'll pay for it, and buy yourself something, and I'll buy that too.
And I
like,
think I even sent you a little picture of a Randy Quaid with the "Get yourself something
Get
nice."
yourself something
I was proud of that.
nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And I went in there and I asked the guys, "Can I help you find anything?" I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for the U2 propaganda." He goes, "Oh," and he turns around and there was 2 left.
Yeah.
2. And I said, "How much do I owe you?" He goes, "It's free."
That's
I said,
crazy.
Free? Son of a bitch! Because you said that on eBay people are selling it for.
I saw one today
$150.
for $150.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah, that's what you call kids a markup. So, anyway, I walked through war-torn Chicago, risked my life. There were gangs and tanks, and it was I had to crawl under barbed wire at one point. But I got it for you,
Thank you,
my friend.
I appreciate it, and I even offered to give you the Soundgarden album. Not really, I wouldn't really let him have it, but
more of a
I
courtesy.
did offer it. Yeah, courtesy offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me, while I was in Chicago, I discovered something. I've been up there 3 or 4 times since I've started the job that I have. I didn't realize that Chicago has a Pedway. Meaning
What?
Pedway.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like an underground, like underground sidewalks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
I went a
had-
totally different direction. with that.
Yeah.
They call it Take the Pedway.
Very careful with the transcript on this one.
That's what it's called.
You know.
So I was exploring.
Was it all different colors and sizes?
I was exploring one night after work, and I'm trying to find this hot dog place because I've had authentic Chicago pizza, though not the time before, but whatever.
Yeah.
I had this deep dish Chicago pizza,
Yeah.
that one piece that knocked you on your ass.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I want to get like a real Chicago hot dog, and someone told me there's a place called Portillo's. I couldn't find one of those close.
Yeah.
But I did find another hot dog place that I can't remember the name of. So I'm on my GPS and I'm walking down the street and I'm trying to find this hot dog place. And it's like, okay, you go down here and then you take a right on Washington, then you take a left on Michigan and
Yeah.
something. Walking, it says 200 feet, you're 100 feet, you're 50 feet away, you're 0 feet away.
Yeah.
You're 50 feet away.
Yeah, back
you're
up.
100 feet. I'm like, what the hell? And so I am the typical tourist standing there with my
Yeah.
phone in my hand going, "Dur,
Did you look up? I've done that before. Maybe it's floating.
I had
It's right above me.
I had tourist please rob me written all over me, and I'm just spinning around in circles,
Yeah.
and I can't find this hot dog place, and I
Yeah.
gave up. And it's like I went and I ate. I found something else to eat, and the next day I'm at the office and I'm telling people about that, and they said, "Well, did you take the sidewalk or were you on the Pedway?" I said, "What?" I was probably
Very careful how you answer that
I was
question.
probably standing right on top of it.
Yeah.
Because it says, "You've arrived." I'm like, "No, I haven't."
Oh,
there's no.
yeah.
I've seen hot dog places before. This is a giant, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
skyscraper.
Yeah.
They sell a lot of hot dogs in there.
I feel like if you're on the way, you know when you have arrived.
Way.
It's-
the Pedway.
Way is a whole different animal. Oh, you want to be careful
I
there.
am,
It's
I am
it's
horribly mistaken.
I was like, "Where?"
Way doesn't open until about midnight on Friday nights.
Like, what is going on here?
I don't know. We're flying really close to the sun. I will tell you that
Do we need to cut him off? Or
Well, guys, we made it
Chicago.
300. That's a pretty good run.
I've said this before. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Chicago is one of my favorite cities.
I love Chicago.
It's a great city to walk around in. It's clean. There's stuff to look at.
Oh, yeah.
You're always within 100 feet of a pizza in case something happens.
Oh, yeah.
They have that giant bean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that bean
yeah.
on the plate.
Yeah.
I've seen that, and then I passed that again trying to find the hot dog place. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not a hot. I'll tell you, that is not a hot dog.
I know a hot dog when I see one, and that ain't it.
And there's a lot of stuff at the pier. Like, so Bess and I and the kids had gone to Chicago. I think Charlie was like he was like 2 years old. And we went on the Navy Pier and, shopping around and looking at stuff. And then when I went with Dan, when we went to go see the Oasis, that's when we discovered there's like bars on the pier there. And you can like sit and look at there's a lake there. I don't know if you're aware that
No,
Chicago.
I've heard that there's.
It's on a
It's
lake.
a great lake.
Lake
isn't it?
Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lake-
it's great. They dye it green.
Chicago?
They dye it
They
green
dye
on
it
St.
green for
Patrick's Day.
Christmas. It's amazing.
If they can dye it green today, why can't they dye it blue the rest of the year?
That's right.
The Fugitive.
But I love Chicago. It's as far as cities in the Americas, that's one of my favorite cities.
Yeah.
It's the Chicago's. Yeah.
So I didn't get my Chicago hot dog, and with tears in my eyes, I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, until I come back." And then I'm at O'Hare Airport, getting ready to fly back to Cincinnati, and I'm walking through, and there's America's Dog.
Uh-huh.
It's a hot dog place in the airport, and I thought, do I try it? Do I risk it? Is it going to taste like an airport hot dog? Turns
Yeah.
out it did.
Yeah.
But I waited in line, and I put my name on the kiosk. I ordered the Louisville dog. The Louisville dog has cheese and
Chitlins and
it does not
pork
have-
rinds.
chitlins, gravy. No, it has
mashed potato.
no, it has onion rings. It has onion
Little biscuit.
rings.
Does the
Corn.
does the hot dog go through the onion ring, like in a circle?
No, it had the shredded fried onion rings and a bourbon. It had a bourbon maple bacon, which I
Wow.
thought that sounds delicious.
Too many things
It
together,
wasn't-
but
it
yeah,
wasn't.
no,
it
yeah,
wasn't.
you gotta be careful with
So
that.
I ordered the hot dog, and I'm waiting, and this little guy comes up, and he said, he looks at my name, and I'm like, here we go. He
Yeah.
looks at it, and he goes, Darlin?
Okay.
Yes.
Darlin.
Hello, darling. nice to see.
Darlin.
There you go.
Hello, Darlin.
That's your official name on the podcast.
How?
Yeah.
So add that to the list. I've had Derek, Daryl, Damon, Dwayne, Damien, and I've had the famous one was Darfin.
Darfin's my favorite. Well, it was my favorite.
Yeah, Darwin was something that I got at the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Now I got Darlin.
Yeah.
Like, thanks, bud.
But you
these
typed your
people
name
from
in. It's not like you
Hamilton?
said your name.
I typed it in. D.
No, I swear they're all from Hamilton.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
add letters to words that don't exist. It's got to be Hamilton.
Yeah. But
Dar
Darlin.
and the symbol for boron.
Hi, this is Dave Lay. Sorry I couldn't be there for the 300th episode. You see, I had a previous engagement. I know that makes me sound really important. I also want to say thanks to all our fans and friends of the show for your support over the past 5 years. It really means a lot to me. This sincere moment has been brought to you by Whopper's all-beef foot-long hot dogs. Back to you guys in the studio.
I have a story from a fan of the show. I'm going to read this story, and no, I'm not taking any comments.
I'm not
until I read the
interrupting
story.
at all until you're done.
No comments. No comments.
Dare you?
So, fan of the show, Aaron Durbin,
Okay.
who I think you
God.
know. You
Yeah.
know her.
There we go.
Aaron Durbin. Yeah.
It's E-Ryan Durbin.
E-Ryan.
Durbin.
Erin.
She calls me at the house, and I've asked her not to do that. You
Yeah,
need to talk
that's-
about it.
yeah.
She says, Darin, I
Stop
have...
having a landline.
Yeah. Right.
She says, I've got a story that I think you'll enjoy on the podcast.
Okay.
And I said, okay. So she sends me this story. Fort Myers, Florida. Florida man found sunburned and disoriented on Sanibel Causeway, claiming he was kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. Lee County Sheriff's deputies responded to the causeway early Monday after a motorist reported a man standing on the shoulder soaking wet and drawing blueprints in the sand. According to the police report, Ricky James Hollowell, 33, was found barefoot, severely sunburned, and wearing only swim trunks. He told deputies he had been taken against his will by a pod of dolphins 3 days ago and forced to work on what he called an underground construction project, according to Hollowell and the police report. Now, Hollowell claimed that the dolphins approached him while he was swimming off Fort Myers Beach. They escorted him to a site approximately 40 feet below the surface. They needed help building structures. He told officers that the dolphins communicated through a series of clicks and that the project foreman was a dolphin he referred to as Gerald. When asked how he breathed underwater for 3 days, he said, Gerald handled that. I didn't ask questions. You don't question Gerald. Now, the police, they couldn't understand what was going on, but they said that the blueprints were to be taken seriously. The guy had zoning, and the blueprints were like a really big deal. Now, Erin tells me this entire story, and she says, I told my father this story. His response was, why are you pronouncing it Gerald? Your father-in-law. none of this fazed him.
Yeah.
Except, why are you pronouncing it Gerald?
Gerald.
Yeah.
That would be him.
And I told her, I was like, yeah, we're mentioning that on the podcast.
It's going to have to be something like Witcher.
Yeah.
Geralt.
Here's the
Geralt.
Yes, Geralt of Rivia. Yeah.
Geralt or Rivia. Yeah.
Can I tell you my biggest problem?
What's that?
Blueprints are called blueprints for a very specific reason.
Because
You can't have blueprints in the sand.
Right.
You can have a design in the sand. You can have plans in the
your
sand,
problem.
but you can't have a blueprint in the sand.
Right.
It did preface all this by saying Florida man.
Florida man.
It is true.
So there's that.
I think it's great that he chose to point out that the dolphins communicated with a series of clicks. That was realistic. He was like, now here I got to really
Do you
get this.
mean
I got to get this
realistic?
right. Yeah. Realistic.
Real.
Just making sure.
Because people will think this is if I screw up on how dolphins communicate. So I got to get that.
Yeah, he had zoning and everything.
Zoning, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
all to be taken very seriously.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, thank you for the story.
And thank you, Aaron, for giving me another opportunity to mention The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Because if any of your readers in the room, any readers?
Oh, absolutely.
Any readers? Yeah.
Yep.
The greatest book ever written, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The
I've heard of it.
Dolphins warn us to get off the Earth, and they think
Off the what?
Off the Earth,
Earth,
the planet
Earth.
that we are on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so worth a read.
Good morning.
So, Chris, you're a dad, and you have something way not in common with the rest of us. Mike has 2 sons. Jason has 2 sons. I have 2 sons. You're a father of 3 girls.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom
Yeah.
what it's like being a girl dad.
Even our dog's a girl. I'm completely
That's right.
outnumbered.
Sadie's a girl, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what is it like being a girl dad?
It's not bad. It's a fair amount of drama that happens, but you get used to it. You kind of build
he
that
does
sensitivity.
edit this. You can let fly.
Oh, good. Okay. That's, I'm like sitting here like, my wife's watching me and I'm in trouble.
A friend of mine was telling me we only had Jacob.
Yeah.
And they had girls, and they said girls, it's all dresses and crowns and doing the nails and special shoes and stuff, and boys, all they want to do is take a stick and turn it into a gun and make this explode and make that building fall over and see how fast this can go.
No, I talk about we can talk about feelings a lot. Everything we have is pink, has some flavor of pink on it. The nice thing is, if you have all one gender or the other,
right,
you don't have to like get blue, on the third one, like, just hand-me-downs, there you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little bit easier. It's a little cost-effective, but you're more in tune with your feelings as a girl dad.
Okay.
Just out of necessity, because you're trying to get them like,
Well, one of my favorite stories that we told on this podcast was being at the gender reveal party, at the second gender reveal party.
Yes.
Of yours, because the confetti hadn't even hit the ground yet.
Yeah.
When someone's like, well, because we found it was going to be another girl.
Yeah.
And then somebody says, well, they're going to have one, the third one have a boy. And the person says, well, they're going to have 2 boys to even it out. And I looked at him and said, you're going to make her pregnant 2 more times? Good Lord, man, give her a break.
I've learned that that's a trick. So when you get married, at the reception, they're always like, when are you having kids? I'm like, we're not even finished with the reception yet. Can I have
That's
Can I have a minute to enjoy wedded life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you give me a second?
Yeah.
Can I have a second?
And then you have your first, and it's when they come over to visit for the first time, they're like, oh, it's so great. When are you having another? And you're like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Like, can I figure out how to change poop diapers first? I mean,
Can you finish the first episode of the show before you go to the next one?
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
And most people figure that out by the second kid. They're like, no. They're trying to see how many you go for. And I was the idiot. I went for 3. And finally on the third, I'm like, all right, boy or girl, like, I don't care. I'm done at 3. Like, that's my max. I'm out.
Yeah.
So we get to the third, and everyone's like, oh, it's so great. Like, my cousin was like, so you guys going for 4?
Yeah. Why don't you go screw yourself?
And I was like, that's exactly what went through my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Are you gonna have it?
Yeah. Are you paying for it? No. Yeah. Okay. So no. Sorry.
Shut up. No, I remember when Jacob was on the way. Libby was like 3 months pregnant or something. And people were telling us, you shouldn't find out what the sex of the baby is. And because we were at a dinner and somebody said, are you going to find out? And we're like, yeah, we're going to find out. And Libby's friend says, well, I think that's cheating. And I said, well, when you have your kid, you can keep it a secret to yourself. And I get kicked under the table by Libby. I'm like, what? What? I was done with people telling me that I can't find out what the sex of the baby is. And I was like, yeah, we're going to find that out. And look, if you want to keep that a surprise, keep it a surprise.
Good on
But we wanted to know what color we're going to paint the room. And we needed to know what type of clothes we're going to buy. And so we found all that stuff out.
Yeah.
But now there are people who don't, and I don't judge you if you don't.
Yeah.
But it's like, I was really getting pissed at people judging me because we were finding that out.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things, it's like, you are a parent, and you do your kids the way you want to do it.
Yeah, I was back and forth. I mean, I was supporting whatever Bess wanted to do, but part of me kind of wanted to be surprised. But she did make the argument, we need to know what we're going to buy.
Right.
I remember briefly trying to make the argument that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are gender neutral. You can get
they
all
are.
mutant
They are.
turtles.
True. April.
That didn't. But that didn't fly. So before we had kids, Bess and I would go to see movies, and we would alternate. We'd see a Bessie movie, and we'd see a Mikey movie, right? So we'd go see Miami Vice, and then we go see what Debbie Met Sally or whatever, and then we go see 300
when Harry met Sally,
and then we go see the
Debbie
wedding
didn't meet Sally.
the wedding person.
Debbie was in Dallas.
That's right. we would alternate, right?
looking for a hot dog.
So Andrew,
With
you know,
onion rings.
he's born back in '07. You know, '08 was when the Marvel movies started. You know, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and then we got, you know, Charlie came along right in the midst of all the Avengers stuff happening, and I felt so bad because Star Wars was coming back, the Avengers was going on, all these things, and I remember at one point, you know, it was like, well, the next Thor is coming out next weekend, and then the Star Wars movies, and then they're going to do the Hobbit, and then and I just looked there. I was like, I'm sorry. It's just, I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? But she was a good sport. She ended up getting into the Marvel stuff and the Lord of the Rings and all those fun things. Now they did get into the Harry Potter. She was a Harry Potter person.
Yeah.
You know, so they did get into that. So they enjoyed the Harry Potters, and then when they went to go see a real movie with Dad, we watched Return of the King down here. Right?
Well, I've said this over and over again because Libby was the one who got us all into the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Libby was the one who wanted to watch the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Libby's the one who wanted to go see The Matrix.
Uh-huh.
And so she's hip and cool with all that. But every now and then a time comes, like what Disney remade, I think it was Cinderella, and she's like, I kind of want to see Cinderella, and nobody wanted to go. And then Libby put her foot down. It's like, oh, come on! How many of these movies have I went to? And they're like, okay. So they watched Cinderella.
Yeah.
So they liked it.
I will say that Bess was not, you know, she was not the Matrix type person, you know, before, you know, the kids.
Yeah.
But she did watch the Matrix with her friends. But she fell asleep. So she watched the beginning. She fell asleep and woke up at the end when they're all like trying to rescue Morpheus in the helicopter scene. So from her point of view, Keanu Reeves was like an IT guy. She falls asleep, wakes up. He's in black leather, dodging bullets, you know, using a chain gun on the side of a helicopter. No idea what's going on. Missed out. The whole Morpheus has that, you
Did
know,
you ever want to figure out the middle?
We eventually watched it like together, like the whole thing. Like he was like, oh, she's like, I didn't see any of this stuff with the guy with the sunglasses in the white room explaining everything.
Right.
It's like, well, that's a key part of that movie.
Well, what I've learned about The Matrix is if you watch all the movies or if you don't watch any of the movies, you have about the same level of understanding of what happens in those movies.
There is an excellent YouTube channel. The dude that runs it goes into the minutia of, you know, explaining things, and he loves the Matrix series, and he goes so far into detail at different points. You're like, there's no way that they were thinking this when they were making it, but you can't argue against him. It's like, it kind of looks like they did know all this stuff beginning, and it's amazing. He went through the Colonel Sanders in the second movie when he's explaining everything. He explains that along with all the pouring out of Agent Smith's mouth. He even goes through the fourth Matrix movie. Keanu and Lily go off and have a thing, whatever it's called. We've got it up there. Bess and I watched it. It was pretty good, but it's weird. It's like Keanu is not in the Matrix anymore. He's just like normal, and all of a sudden he starts having flashbacks, and I'm in the Matrix again. That's exactly the noise that he makes. You know, and they were still making John Wick movies
Which
when
he does in every movie.
But it's funny because all the other Matrix movies, he's like clean cut Neo guy. This one, they're in the middle of doing John Wick. He's got like the long hair and the scruffy beard. It's like, it's just how Neo looks now. Deal with it. Anyway, I will send you guys this one of these videos because it is.
Oh, please!
I've spent.
I can't wait to look
He spends like an hour on each movie. It is exceptionally interesting. You don't like these movies, I know, but you will enjoy these videos.
Do you know how many times I've seen The Matrix?
How many times have you seen The Matrix?
The entire series?
Yeah.
Probably about 15 to 16.
Okay. I would make sure that you get this.
Yeah, I love
and
this.
you know why? The Wachowski brothers are awesome. They really thought this thing all the way through.
Yes.
I feel like they wrote the entire thing all at once and then separated it into those sections in appropriate timestamps and all that stuff.
Which is how you're supposed to make a movie.
Well, he has
you
like
don't George Lucas it and decide to go.
So
you don't go back. You don't get ahead of it. What if R2D2 can fly now? I'm like, what the hell are you doing? one.
One of the videos it's called "There Is No Spoon," and it's focused on just the conversation that Neo has with the Spoon Kid in the first movie.
Yeah.
It's a 15-minute video. That scene is like 2 minutes long.
Right.
It's a 15-minute video deconstructing what that really means and why Neo's face looks the way it does in the spoon and what's going through Neo's head.
I just want that
what's going
chick's
through the
chocolate
kid's-
chip cookies.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are
How
we
did
still
you
talking about the Matrix?
if
Yeah.
you,
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Darren.
yeah, would you still want one if I hadn't offered it or whatever? You know, those
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
It goes through like every bit of dialogue. It's
love
impressive.
that.
I'll
That's
send you that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I mean, I when we first saw the first Matrix, we were all about that. Now,
Yeah.
granted, we were laughing our ass off at Keanu Reeves. Why,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but we liked it. We
Yeah,
did
yeah,
like it,
yeah.
and I loved that the Matrix beat Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace
Yes.
for special effects. I was jumping
Four,
up.
by the way, four, not fur. I know we're close to Hamilton.
No, I was jumping up and down watching the Oscars, thrilled that it beat them for
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because as, I don't know if you guys know this, but I hate the prequels.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Now we
Except for the lightsaber fight with Darth Maul and the two.
That is pretty badass.
Oh.
You got to give that credit.
Yeah, but
credits.
it wasn't enough to save the motion picture for me. Yeah, it wasn't enough. Still, but we went to see the other Matrix movies, and we had a hard time keeping up.
Yeah.
But they were badass.
Yeah.
They were really, really cool.
Yeah,
They were.
Well,
yeah.
there was a lot of they got some hate because they do. You have to really be paying attention to all the details. See, I'm even guilty of saying, "Well, Revolutions is just a bunch of shooting these robots with nothing really." But there's a lot of detail in them. The other movies are just as deep, if not deeper, than the first.
Yeah.
But
I think it's
you're
because there's more
spending-
action.
Yeah, you're
in
spending more
other
time
two.
like, oh, how many Smiths can he fight at this time? Or when he says, "Whoa," this time is it going to be like, "Whoa," or is it going to be, "Whoa"? You know, so people are focused on that. But there's so much stuff.
I wish
There's
he should have done a Joey. Like, whoa.
yeah,
Whoa!
whoa, yeah,
Or did I do that? No, what I love is in the Matrix was whoa, but then in John Wick it's yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, so let's give him another trilogy and
That's-
find one word that he can say.
it's artistic growth.
I mean, in John Wick, he had how many words did he actually speak?
7, I think.
Yeah,
7 total.
I thought it was 8.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You gotta admit. I mean, love or hate, and I love. You know, everybody knows I love the John Wick movies, and I love the Matrix movies. But to have like one series that's that popular, and then just kind of faded out. I think he
all
did. He
started
made the movie with the clouds in the sky or something, and then he just didn't do anything. What was it? A Walk in the Cloud? Is it Walk in the Clouds?
The one with Diane Keaton?
I don't know who that is.
I do. That
She was in-
doesn't surprise
Yeah,
me.
she was in Debbie Met Sally.
She was in The Godfather.
Yeah.
Which I get those
But
two
then,
confused all the time.
John Wick comes out, and the reason I sat down and watched John Wick, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it's a movie about Keanu Reeves is mad that someone shot his dog,
Yeah.
or killed his dog and stole his car, and that's the movie. And I thought that was hilarious. And once I stopped laughing, I put it in, and I was like, I watched it all the way through. It was like to stay up till 2 a.m. on a weeknight. I was like, I can't believe I'm watching this. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Was he more mad about the dog or the car?
The dog.
The dog.
Oh, the dog.
Yeah.
I would have been more mad about the
I know you.
Yeah, really not.
because I only have 2 dogs. One I would die for, and the other one I wish somebody would,
Yeah.
you know,
kind of, just
Just
nudge it out into the
let it
road
go.
a little bit. Yeah.
let it go,
Let it
let it
go.
go.
Yeah.
Come to my house and take.
I'm not going to ask you which dog.
Oh no, you
no.
you can
Yeah.
firmly guess if you come over to the house.
Took a dip there.
I remember though one of the episodes when Matrix Resurrections was about to come out, and then John Wick was around the same time because there was these rumors going around. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That they were going to release them on like the same day.
There was these
Or
AI
close.
There
things.
was
It was a
rumors,
picture
yeah.
of John
Wick,
Wick
yeah.
aiming a gun at
Yeah.
Neo.
Yeah.
They were naming. There
And
was
they
a
were like-
poster for that
Because that's when you guys started talking about Keanu Reeves and whether or not he's a good actor.
Right.
And you guys got into it. And I agreed with Mike on that, honestly. I just...
Which means you're right, Mike. That
Right.
means you're right.
That's Automatically.
Somebody
That's
agrees with you,
Exactly.
so you've got to be right.
Exactly.
No, I said that Keanu Reeves is one of the worst actors who I like. I genuinely like Keanu Reeves. But I'll
yeah.
tell you, Duke Kaboom has resurrected him.
I will say this.
Even though the Toy Story 4 shouldn't have been made and Toy Story 5 should not have been made, and I haven't seen Toy Story 5 yet, but it has Duke Kaboom in it. So
the way that Neo has to be, the character fits Keanu Reeves, I think, like a glove.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I think the
Absolutely.
same way with John Wick. But what makes John Wick even more impressive for me is, the movies almost became a thing of, let's see what Keanu Reeves, how he's been
Capable of
practicing,
doing.
how he's been
Yeah.
doing this.
He does all this stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah.
So that's one of those, like, the gun nuts can watch like everything that he's doing. It's like Val Kilmer, the reload that he does in Heat. In the middle of the battle in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Testify. Anyway, they used that video. The Marines for a while used that video as training on how to do a live reload in the middle of a firefight because he does it perfecally.
I'm ready to watch that again.
Yeah, I started watching it the other
Yeah,
night.
it keeps coming up whenever I'm scrolling through something fine. I'm like, I want to watch Heat again.
Literally
I
a
want
week or
to
two
watch
ago,
it
I
again.
started watching it. I will say, if you feel the desire to watch it with your kids, there's some boom boom spots in the beginning that I completely forgot about. Al and wifey, and then De Niro and the West Virginia chick, which I forgot she was in it. You know, he meets the girl, the De Niro's love interest in the
West
movie.
Virginia chick.
Yeah, she's from West Virginia.
Okay.
He's at a bar. It's De Niro looking all De Niro-y.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What you drinking?" He's, "I'm having an iced tea." I'm like, whoa. I don't remember that.
And he said, "Did you get an iced tea or
Yeah.
your iced tea?"
Yeah, that's what you call a callback.
callback.
That's why he's the professional. They're making a Heat too. Did you know that?
I've heard.
Yeah, with Lonnie Donson's in it.
Lonnie Donegan.
No, the guy
Tito
with,
Puente.
the guy with the T-saber in the new Star Wars movies with the
Adam
big
Driver.
chest. Yeah, Adam
Yeah,
Driver.
that's it.
And then Molly Ringwald or somebody. She's
still in the
yeah,
band.
it's still
Molly Ringwald's hot, man.
yeah.
Her career is
Yeah.
still just...
Just watch out.
It's our 300th episode. Do you have any favorite moments from the past? I mean, you guys have been patrons forever. Do you have favorite moments from the podcast?
Do you
Chris,
listen
do you
to
have-
the show?
Do you
I've heard it's out there.
Yeah, it's
on,
out. Yeah, it's
Apple
available.
Podcasts.
It is.
I mean, I'd like to think that they're just not sending the checks blindly. But I mean, I have a feeling that if they continuously listen, they'd probably stop sending them. But do you have favorite moments of the show?
First off, I really liked from the beginning, like watching you guys kind of develop the format. And, at the beginning, you're just like, we have no idea what we're doing. You know, like my oldest was like an infant, not even a month, like when you guys came out with it. But watching it kind of develop into what it is, which is like Mike antagonizing Darin. And it's fun. It's
The
fun.
only reason I pay.
The more, the more antagonism there is. Yeah, it's exciting. So it's fun.
I think we've grown.
Yeah,
I do.
But you guys
I've
have
clearly
totally-
grown.
No, I'm talking like I think the podcast
Round
is
is a shape.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think the podcast has matured, and I'm going to compare it to The Simpsons and not compare it to The Simpsons because we're not The Simpsons.
We're not The Simpsons.
But some of the early seasons of The Simpsons are painful to watch.
Yeah.
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 And I go back and listen to some from the first 10 or 12. I still find stories that I was really proud that we told.
Yeah.
And granted, you were the one who gave us our first monetary donation. You're like, please go buy another microphone. And so
I've offered you a couple.
and by the way, thank you for that, because when we got the 2 microphone system, something about going from 1 mic to 2 really changed us, not only professionally and how it sounded, but it kind of like got in our heads and we like felt more professional.
It's one of those things that it's like, what do they say when you dress for the job you want, not the job you have? It was like we actually have professional equipment here. We should try to do something
Do stuff.
worthwhile.
I do want to interject. I have to say that my favorite episode was the pen episode.
when I got pistoned through the pin.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. You got physical.
I did.
And we made sure tonight that there were no pens on Mike's side of the table. But there is, however, two very heavy objects over here on Darin's side.
I could throw the keys or my wallet or my aluminum foil.
We put Chris Michael over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We know there's a battle there.
Yeah.
Darin was going to stop him. I may be a first-degree black belt, but I'm not getting over there anytime soon. So
I will say, Mike got my lesson. He got the point.
Yeah. Literally.
I got so pissed because he wouldn't stop interrupting my story, and we had a talk about that.
Yeah. We've had some discussions.
And we've had discussions about a lot of other things that
that's what's grown your guys' podcast.
Yeah.
Even if you go back to the 100th episode, the 200th, and now to this one, you can see that you guys have actually grown fonder of each other, even though you will not admit it. Without a doubt.
I will admit
I enjoy Darin immensely for about an hour a week. No. I think everybody knows Darin is one of my best friends of all time.
I don't think we could have done this podcast if we really hated each other. Yeah.
No. But this podcast exists on a number of different levels. So Mr. and Mrs. Chucklehead driving down the road right now, listening to this. You're either listening because a story's funny. I put a hashtag about something you thought we were going to talk about and we didn't. Or, a lot of people like when we go at each other just randomly, just like get into an argument about stuff. But the stuff that sticks out to me, because I pretty famously quit while listening to the podcast a while ago. And I've joked about that, but I haven't really quit listening because I do the video portion of it. So I see different aspects of it. So Darin adds sometimes I make videos of things that Darin has edited out, and sometimes, vice versa. So we see two different versions of the show, and I generally let the podcast marinate for a bit, and then I go listen to them later, and I laugh my ass off. Darin will say something in the episode that I completely ignore, drive right by it, right? And then I'll laugh at what he said. I didn't hear it. And so I'll give him a compliment. Hey, Darin, you said something back in October of last year. It was pretty. but there's two other. But as far as the podcast itself, so that's a little bit of enjoyment that I get. But my main thing that I enjoy about it is that this is two buddies talking about our lives on the show, our lives as friends, and then our lives outside. And through the course of that, we document life events. So every vacation this dude's been on for the past 5 years, every vacation I've been on is documented here. Yeah. And it gives us an opportunity to go back and relive those portions, right? And when we tell stories, and Bess listens to the stories, she's like, Bess listens to the podcast religiously, still doesn't give us any money, but listens to it, and she'll say, oh, I completely forgot about that story that you told in college, or how did you get to episode 250 or whatever it is before you talked about drinking your contacts at Tool?
Right.
The ones that make me laugh the hardest and that I love the most is when just breaks down the bloopers, the last clips episode. Those are the ones I don't listen to when I'm driving because I'll wreck. And I've listened to them with Bess in the car. She doesn't think they're that funny as I do because I think they're funny because I know what's behind the scenes going on there. Yeah. I know that when it got really quiet, that me and Darin are looking at each other over the microphones going, oh. And to me, that's hilarious, right? Or what was it in the last Clips episode? You saw something with a Maxi, and I said that's on the high flow days.
The Mini Cooper.
The Mini Cooper, and I said the Maxi Cooper is for high flow days.
Yes.
And it was like a time bomb. It hit you like a few seconds later. You just dropped out. And I could hear, so the normal listener would think, oh, the audio cut out, but I hear you wheezing in the background. Just shut your ass down.
I know.
If I could shut Darin down in an episode, that's my favorite. Yeah. Those are my favorite moments.
One of the first ones I remember of that happening was you're talking about your dog, your old dog Molly with the poop. Yeah.
Yes.
And he's like, and I threw it up in the tree and it went and Darin just lost it. And he's like, what was that sound? Can you do it again? Mike's like
And how long did that stay in the tree?
It just came down.
A couple of years.
Yeah,
Couple of years
the plastic is still in the ground out there below. I've never picked it up.
So I did have a question. When are you going to take the Halloween lights down
Never.
from 3
Never.
years ago?
Never.
I was going to plug him in tonight, but I was afraid to get shot.
Guys,
That's another
He
thing.
took his Christmas tree down last week.
Yeah, that's another feature of it is that
It's
you
still
can
cold. It's fine.
because we do this every week and we've been religious about that. You can go back and we can figure out how long that has been in the tree. Because the episode that it finally came down, I documented that.
Yeah.
And then I've given updates. And I'm updating episode 300. The blue plastic from the bag is still out there.
Yeah, so that's homework for our viewers and our listeners.
If you're in this house now, if you've figured out, if we've gotten famous somehow and I'm in some weird place and you now live in this house, yes, out by the tree is a blue piece of plastic that contained my late dog's. I don't know what's going on in the world of DNA technologies there. You could recreate the dog from that. Yeah.
And if you're a patron, it's a free gift from the show.
That's right.
There you go. Right.
No, if I could say something nice about Mike, and that I believe God puts people in our lives for a reason. I think you were destined to be my neighbor. I think you were destined to be my neighbor. And I think Mike was destined to be my friend. Our kids met in kindergarten, and they had a play date. And I remember coming over to pick Cameron up after him having a play date with Andrew. And Mike was complaining, just bitching as hard as he can, because somebody called me at 10 o'clock last night, and I had to put down my bowl of cereal to answer the phone. And I thought, oh my God, I'm talking to me. I am literally talking to me. I was like, and I thought, he is like exactly like me. Turns out he is the closest to me of any friend that I have. And I think that's why this podcast works so well. Because that's why our chemistry works. And I believe our chemistry works.
It does. The stories are true.
They're
true. I did sit. The story of me eating ice cream when the fire alarm's going off. I was on this couch right here.
Yeah.
And I remember it was right there. And I took the ice cream and I was like, are you serious?
Libby used to say, did Mike really do that? She stopped saying that.
No. So, and I'll go even further. So, my friends, I've been very lucky with the people that have come into my life at various points. I feel like I lucked out as far as high school friends. We're still in touch. I'm still in touch with my high school friends and my college friends. We still talk about the fact that we ended up in the same dorm together. That had to have been, something was putting us all together. And I feel like Darin and you guys coming into my life, I mean, you guys are hilarious. And I've talked with different groups of people like about having close friendships. I have close friendships and I open up to my friends because I have close friendships. I'm not just friends with anybody. Well, Chris Michael, but normally
I had to,
Mr. Hughes.
I had to pay for it, but whatever.
But no, I do. I'm an only child, and if you know me, put a few beers in me, and I'll tell you all kinds of stuff.
Give you a lot of hugs.
I cherish friends and close family the highest. So I don't make friends with people easily.
Really?
But when I do, it's a bond, and I cherish you guys in my life as my friends.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Your guys' Halloween party. I would always listen to the podcast, especially like in the earlier episodes when I was mowing the lawn. And it was perfect. I loved it. Because I go through a whole episode. It took 2 hours to get the whole lawn.
Right.
I go through a whole episode. You guys would crank them out. You guys are documenting their lives, like you said.
Yeah,
so I've heard a lot of like different stories. And like, I mean, I know you, Darin, obviously, but
Right.
I didn't know you that well yet. Like,
Yeah.
you may have known my face. Maybe you talked once or twice.
Yeah.
But we're at the Halloween party. And you guys were there. And I was like, oh, sweet. So we get there. And like, I've never met a celebrity.
You still haven't.
But but it was one of those. I'm like, this guy talks about his life every week, and I listen to it. He knows about me.
So yeah, you know everything.
So he's
about
like
it.
searching for something to like talk about and find common ground on.
And you're
Like, is this
tell me
what it's
about
like when you meet a celebrity? Like,
tell me about the dog in your tree again.
Well, that was like the time I met Chris Calloway in Kroger.
Oh yeah,
That was the only time I've met someone who I didn't know.
yeah.
Right, I didn't previously know who listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
And here I am in the produce department at Kroger, and Chris Calloway is wearing his Irritable Dad Syndrome T-shirt.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And he gets like, I'm just walking down along the aisle getting ready to get some peppers, and he gets like la-di-da, leaning up like, like, look at me. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Hey, you know?
Yeah.
And then, hey, I'm Chris Calloway. I'm like, how cool is that? And just like, he has heard God knows how many things about me, and I had no idea who he was or what. So
Yeah.
it was very wild.
All kinds of weird experiences. I mean, one of the weirdest for me is I told a story about getting into a fight with another kid in middle school. And I told the story because I thought it was hilarious. It was in 6th grade. The teacher was in the room when we were fighting. And we were in the front of the classroom. Like that's where the lockers were because it's Proctorville. And we were fighting and it was rough. And the teacher never looked over. I mean, she was old. She didn't know what was going on. And the guy that I was in a fight with listened to that episode and messaged me. He's like, I had no idea. He's like, I remember that happening now, but I was like, it's like, dude, like, so me and him were about the same size in middle school.
Yeah.
He ends up going off and being a Marine. And I'm talking arms like tree trunks, you know, the guy that, you know, is like, it's just a badass.
Yeah.
And then we saw each other at the high school reunion. And I told him there, you know, after about 300 to 400 beers, I told him we had the fight, and he thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, I'm so glad you think that's funny. But yeah, he just randomly picked an episode. He found out I had a podcast and listened to the episode, and he said as he was listening to that story, he was like, oh my God, this guy's talking about me. It's going around all over the place. It's not going that far.
It's not. It's five people.
But it ended up being a funny story. Yeah,
it is going out there.
It's out there.
Nobody
Yeah, and then but no, we have you know, I joke that we don't have a lot of patrons, but we do have enough to cover the cost of the show. And we don't know all of them.
No.
And that was the first time we got a patron that was above the $1 level. You know, once you go above $1, you get into the uncensored and all that other stuff. You get into us just dropping F-bombs and, you know, like and I was like, oh, wow, there's a person now that
we don't know. We've never met him.
That has access to all the
I'm
video,
sure he's
these stories.
sexy and cool.
Yeah,
and a fun person you want to have a party.
You know, then it was like, if I ever run into this dude, there's a possibility. It's a non-zero chance that I run into somebody that all of a sudden knows all this about me, and I don't have any idea who they are. And that's kind of cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, and we've got people in other countries. We have a fan in Germany that has been with us for years at this point.
We've had people listen to us in India.
Yeah.
India.
Yeah.
That was a mistake. That has got to be a mistake.
As it turns out, that was a VPN connection.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's possible. Yeah.
Darin will always throw little like Easter eggs out when I'm in an episode. Usually when you're insulting me. But, yeah.
That's on every episode.
Yeah,
Way,
that's
we're
just
sorry.
a lot of
We're
it.
sorry.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, you're the podcast. I just want to apologize in advance." I'm like, "Oh, here we go." But it's cool because, like, I go to Mary like, "Hey, I was in the podcast this week." And,
That's right.
you know, there was one time like my
And
my
then
sister-in-law and
she
brother-in-law
gives
were in
you
town.
respect.
Yeah, and I was like, I was in my neighbor's podcast, and they're like, "What?" And then it opens up the whole like, you know, what happened and all that, and then we listened to it that night.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome, forklift certified since 1996.
Well, now we're having fun, aren't we?
I've got to mention that Dave Lay was invited to be here, and he was unable to come. He says hello to you, and he says hello to you, Jason.
Dave's not here.
Dave Lay, my God.
Oh,
every
yeah.
time, it's like I send something to Dave, and never does he not send the audio back within like the next day or something.
Yeah.
Dave is awesome.
Yeah.
I love having Dave on this podcast. And I don't know what we'd do if we didn't have Dave as part of the podcast. And he is an integral part of why people enjoy this thing. So, Dave, thank you very much, Dave.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody who's ever listened. I want to thank our loyal fans. I want to thank our new fans. And seriously, there are people who have been with us since episode 1.
Yeah.
And it means the world to me. It really, really does. So we're going to wrap this up. Jason, thank you very much. Chris, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It's good to hang out with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To all our fans, thank you for being with us for 300 episodes. And we hope to see you next week for 301 on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mike Odell, Darin Cox production.
Seriously, I would spend an extra 2 to 3 extra hours auditing the audio levels.
I love scotch. Scotch.
Ooh, Scott.
One thing this podcast needs more of is caffeine and taurine.
Yeah.
Straight from a
mean
minotaur's
touring?
balls.
Touring or touring?
Taurine.
Taurine.
What is
Taurine.
What is he
Taurine.
saying?
Well, there's two different ways to say tour.
Tour.
Tour or tour.
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 Touring.
If you're from Hamilton, it
One
can
way.
be tour.
Wait, is it
Is
route
correct,
or
and
route?
one way is stupid.
It's Washington also. It's not a creek, it's a crick.
You see, I only say route if it's Route 66. Everything else is route.
My brother
But
gives
it's
me so
not
much
Route
because
66.
he's like, you can't say route. We're not in Europe. It's route. And I'm like,
It's roadie.
I just say whatever I feel like at the time, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Hamilton.
Yeah.
We're allowed to make those
Right.
mistakes. We add letters in where they don't belong.
Yes.
You put extra syllables in if you want to. It's fine. It's not four. It's forward.
Can we take a
Heavy.
break here real quick?
yeah.
What'd I do?
I want to move this.
Oh, I screwed it up.
No. I just heard some clicks.
Oh.
Dude, like,
Was it a dolphin?
no. It was Geralt.
Probably my knee going up.
No. Geralt was doing a little subsurface refinishing, if you know what I...
One of your guys' Halloween parties.
Quit hitting the table.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's my first podcast.
No, you're fine. No.
Roll the outro.
Which is built with original,
really?
original hardware.
Can I play with your stuff?
What?
Hello. Boy, did I come back at the right time.
Hold on, the show's not over yet. Irritable Dad Syndrome is going into overtime, starting right now.
The segue that I use,
Yeah.
I got that idea because I was listening to
Is that part of the way still?
It's not way. And I also don't understand what way means.
Yeah, that's,
Do you not know what
I'll tell you on the way out.
this is what the patrons pay for here.
is?
That's where you roll up your pants, right?
No. You take your pants off for that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is good old fashioned
Yeah.
family fun.
That little segue that I use to kind of like they do with Law and Order, to
Yeah.
You can attach the to the segment.
You can't.
I edited that. I found like a 5-second little cut, and then I started
Don't-
throwing in little sound effects in the middle.
Don't Google it.
Don't
Is that like,
Google.
Is that like blue tortilla or blue? What
No, it's more like
Wait till you get to work before you.
is it that I'm thinking
I'll
of?
tell you.
no,
No,
do not do that one.
Because I don't
no.
know what that is either.
Yeah, they don't serve that at Waffle House.
No. At least not before 1 o'clock in the morning.
Honest to God, you guys are laughing your ass off, and inside I'm like, why are they laughing at Pedway? I didn't catch on that you thought I said way.
Well, yeah.
Because I'm like,
yeah.
I wasn't going to stop the show, but I'm like, what? What?
What is so damn funny?
That's what happens when you have somebody on the podcast who can't hear very well.
You guys are talking about Alexa the other week.
Yeah.
On, like
Yeah.
it sniffs back at you now.
Oh, she's getting that.
yeah, like
Yeah.
we noticed that since it switched over to the AI or whatever, the Plus. Like she'll talk back to you if you smart.
Your AI,
I like
your
that.
Alexa
Yeah.
does that too?
yeah, it never used to. It
Okay.
used to like because ours like
Does she sound younger, prettier, and sexier?
yeah, but then
Yeah.
she'll like quit back if you say something. So like I have a really bad habit. If somebody like if I'm driving and somebody cuts me off or whatever, under my breath, I'll just end it. I've done this like since grade. I'll just end it with like idiot. Well, a lot of times I'll tell it to like go into like the evening mode routine where it like dims the lights and everything. And a lot of times it doesn't
some
understand
candles.
me. Yeah. And it'll try to do something totally different. Like, oh, it's going to be 56 degrees tonight, and windy or whatever. And I would like turn off the kitchen. And then finally it will. And it listens for that like extra couple seconds now right after. And I'll be like, one time I was just like, idiot. And it was like, wow, I guess that's going on my performance review, huh? And I was like, whoa, like what? Like where did this come? Because it used to be just
How do I
like
turn that on?
Yeah, it used to just have like it would just be like beep boop and then like shut off.
Yeah.
And now like it'll smart back at you. So now
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're
but
not my
what's
dad.
happening is
So it's
I will
like
get
having-
progressively more aggressive with it. So now the other night I wanted it to play some 80s song, but I think it was Rat. But anyway, it kept getting
Round
it wrong.
and round.
It kept getting it wrong, and finally I was just like
If you're gonna ask for a rap
also
song,
Van Halen.
that's the one.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Van Halen.
Round and round. We're love will find a way.
For unlawful
Carnal
carnal
knowledge.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was Runaround.
Second
Is it
Band.
run around?
But
Yeah,
I finally I went to it and I said, I can't wait till Apple
right.
releases a decent HomePod so I can replace you,
Oh.
just to see what it did. Because at this point I know it's going to process it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, well, I guess I won't have to worry about getting the song right in a landfill, will I? And I was just like, wow. So now it's a game where I just like see what mean things I can say to it
exactly.
and it says back.
Yeah.
It's,
Exactly.
just,
So it's like having Mike on an Alexa.
it's basically, yeah. It's,
Yes.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you imagine if Mike was? It's like,
Oh,
hey Mike,
it would
what's
have
the capital of California? What's the capital of
They would have to have a mode where I just say randomly in the middle of the night.
It would have
like
to
in the
be
middle of the night,
explicit.
my speaker just goes, "What the f- am I doing here?"
You're like, Mike, how long do I bake chicken breast?
That would be odd. No, we used the Google lady, and I think she got a lobotomy because she doesn't answer shit. Like she used to resolve arguments. You know, the family's trying to convince me that Abraham Lincoln was a president or something. I'm like, no, he wasn't. You know. And then, now we'll say, hey Google, what's the weather? And I'm sorry, I don't understand that question. I don't know if it's being sarcastic or not. This went off the rails.
Did you say weather or weather? Because it could be Hamilton speak, and you don't understand Hamilton speak.
No, I have noticed. I use if you guys follow us on the.
Barry and I both have this really bad thing. If you're not supposed to laugh,
Yeah, it's over.
as soon as somebody else is laughing,
Yeah.
like we just absolutely just
I
derail.
demand
So
no one laugh on this
weddings
show.
are
I was thinking
horrible.
this is going to be bonus, but I'm
No, this is
this is
yes,
cool.
this
This
is
is
it.
it, man.
Recording stopped.